Alright, so today I headed over to Home Depot and they had the RIDGID OCTANE saw on sale. Now technically this isn't supposed to come out till next month, so I don't know why it's at my Home Depot. Maybe it's because RIDGID is using geolocation or something to find potential testers for their saws. I don't know. Not my business. Either way, they had it a month ahead of schedule and I had the 9 amp hour battery pack, so I bought it because I want to try it out. So the first impressions on this thing that I want to talk about are not the power. We'll get to that, which is great. What I do want to talk about is the rafter hook. So if you're looking to get this saw, what you need to know is that this rafter hook is going to have trouble with a 2x6. I tried to put it on here and it doesn't quite fit. It hangs, but it doesn't go past the bevel table here. If you come over here, you can see this bevel adjust here kind of sticks at the bottom of the 2x6. I think it wasn't something they really thought about, but it's also adjustable. It goes on with 2 screws that you torque it down with for the clamp that you need to keep that rafter hook stable, but it can slide up and down this mechanism if it needs to. So if you absolutely have to hang it on a 2x6, it is possible. It's just not the intended use for it. It's made with sawhorses in mind so that you can put this on a 2x4 and hang it up when you're done with it and close it when you need to take it somewhere. The rafter hook is very sturdy. It's a lot sturdier than my gun hooks. It's a lot sturdier than some of the other rafter hooks I've used on other leader brands. But it has a drawback. The other thing I want to talk about is the blade that comes with it. I don't have it on there right now. It's right over here. You get the 24 tooth blade, and it actually has carbide teeth, and it's made specifically for ripping. So that's a pretty high quality. You can look at a $20 blade free with your purchase, and the tool's like $150, I think. So free blade that comes with it, really good blade. So that's another thing. And if you don't know how Octane works and what the difference between this saw and the standard RIDGID saw is this has 5,900, it might be 5,600 RPM. So you're looking at 2,000 more RPM than their previous models and a lot more torque. And if you have ever listened to the original model, you can hear the difference on this one. Just an immediate and obvious difference in power. And you'll see that when I go to cutting. So my favorite thing that I've noticed about this saw, though, is the positive stops on the saw table. So you've got your adjustment table here, and you can see it down in there. They've changed the look of the table to have less grooves on it, so you're not having your full 1/8 inch margins. You just get to guesstimate it, and really who uses those that much anyway? But all of these 1/2 inch points have positive stops that this table clicks in at. So no more fiddling around with it. It'll stop it for you where it needs to be. You know it's in place, just like a miter saw, and you just boom, done, set. The next thing that I loved about it was the fact that the bevel also has positive stops. One at 15, one at 22.5, one at 30, one at 45, and one at 56. So you've got positive stops all the way through your bevel table. That way you know that your saw is set in where you need it. So now we're going to get to the good part that everybody's been waiting for. I'm going to show you how it works. So this is pressure treated 2x6, yellow pine I'm assuming, but it ate that like butter. I would say the only saw I've used that does better than what I'm holding right now is my buddy Brad, who is filming this. Hey Brad, I'll give you a shout out. The only saw I've used that impressed me more than this thing's power is his DeWalt FlexVolt, which is, it's a 60 volt tool versus an 18 volt tool. For a sixth, no, not a sixth, but for a third of the voltage, this is impressive. This is a significant step up from my other RIDGID saw, which has constantly been underpowered. I've tried to make rip cuts with it. That didn't go well. I'd struggled in 2x4s to the point where I actually usually have to do it like this. I have to do plunge cuts on a lot of my lumber with my other saw. So I go like this and then finish my cut. So I don't have to do that anymore with this. I pick it up, I line it up, I shoot, it goes. So it seems like Ridgid is really trying to break into a pro market, and I think that with this new octane saw they actually have. Joe, Canadian Carpenter, actually demoed some of their tools and gave them a lot of recommendations on how to fix them. The recommendations he gave were, number one, it needs more power, and number two, it needs a rafter hook. And they did just that. And I dare say you could use this for production cutting. I mean, I've probably done 50 cuts since I got here, and I didn't even come with a full battery. I used my 9 amp today, and it's almost full. So that gives you an idea of how the power on this thing works and how well this saw performs. So if you want to know any more, DM me, give me a shout out, let me know what you think. I'm here to answer questions. I will be doing demolition with this weekend. Ripping up joists in an 80-year-old house that are all solid oak. So if you guys want to stay tuned for that, let me know and you'll get to watch some videos from that as well. Anyway, bye.